24/7 on the internet.
All right, here we are back in the Club Barnett for episode 2 here. And I'm interested in talking about these two because there was we got a couple little clips here that are very interesting.
Yes.
You want to tell the club members what we're going to be seeing?
Well, this episode's really cool because you were asking Ronnie about the banter between him and Kim while they were on stage. And it was special. And we get to hear Ronnie's take on that. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, also about one of the clubs he was in where he wasn't playing. Kim was doing a solo.
Oh, that's right.
Show. And Ronnie was there. Classic stuff. And we're also going to hear about some touring in Europe and where they like to tour, what kind of cities they preferred, and things like that. A lot of interesting stuff. Again, when Ronnie tells a story, it just it's almost too much information sometimes.
Yeah, and I love the part about an individual that they ran into who's not quite a big fan of us Americans.
No,
I want to say. And I think there's some Madonna name dropping in this section.
There might be. There just might be. So let's check it out here at Club Barnett.
Ronnie, the few times that I've seen the Must Play, there's usually a moment or two in the show when you and Kim would come like really close, face to face, and it always seemed like a really special moment in the show on your performances. Was that something that just happened naturally, or did you guys plan that, or did it happen the first time and people reacted to it? So
yeah, it originally happened naturally. I mean, we all have our bag of tricks, me, Chris Robinson, we have the same moves we do every show. For me, spitting in the air, whatever, or staring into space, or you know what I mean, hitting my head on the mic. That's why any picture you see me on tour, I've got a big fucking bruise on my forehead. That's why. I know I should be in ECW, right? Like I'm like New Jack.
He's bleeding.
I know. Have you seen that guy's forehead? Anyway, anyway, Jeff. Yeah, it happened organically. So that's the one move every show we did, because we always did Sad Tomorrow. It happens in the middle of Sad Tomorrow during the solo. It's the one kind of move we would just do. I hate to call it choreographed because, but yeah, me and Kim would come face to face, and if you look in all of them, we're talking to each other. I'm sitting there going like, "Fuck, can you believe that? Believe this?" Or like, "God damn, that fucking guy up front is driving me crazy." Like, I'm gonna kick the shit out of this motherfucker, or whatever, or just we're smiling, and yeah, it was a nice moment. So that's why there's a lot of pictures of me and Kim face to face like that, and
that's cool.
It's that part of Sad Tomorrow, and it's funny. Like one of the last shows that Kim did, she did a solo gig. She didn't do a lot of solo gigs, but she did it for the Honey Chain record release at the Redwood. Kim played solo.
Wow.
And I happened to go to the bathroom, and at the Redwood, you got to walk past the stage, you go to the bathrooms, and then so this was not it seemed like it's choreographed, but it was not. She's doing Sad Tomorrow. I went to the bathroom, and I came out of the bathroom right when the solo's starting. So there weren't a lot of people there. So I stopped right then, and she came over across the stage to me and looked at me, and we did it with me not playing off stage. Yeah. So for anybody that knows the band, that happened. Yeah. That's so cool. Yeah.
Completely unplanned, huh?
Completely unplanned, Jeff. I didn't mean to take a piss during Sad Tomorrow. I wasn't like, I'm going to turn these 10 people on with this move, Like, I'm not adverse to that, but yeah. Another one of my favorite moves is when the PA speakers were hanging. I'd love to go and just kind of touch it, make it rock. I'm always looking for a prop on stage. So whatever it was, whether it was like the wall or, a conga drum sitting there or I'm really proud of our between song banter too. We didn't repeat lines. We were not like where they say the same things every night. So, and part of that, and this is like, goes to my dream of being a stand-up comic, is you work with what you got, right? So jokes about the room, whether it's like a post, some painting they have, or like, you know, or like the weather or whatever, something local is always good to get in there. You know, and I'm really proud of me and Kim's banter. I mean, I've said this before too, but I can judge a good show by how funny we were in our interaction on stage, and we got really good at it as we went on. I mean, our last 10 years, you know, we were like Burns and Allen, or you know what I mean? We were a good team, and
good to play off each other. Good.
Played off each other. And I got to say too, our last 10 years of playing, I mean, all the shows were big love fests. I mean, people that were there were people, like you said earlier, that loved the band, and we're just happy to see us. And yeah.
So Ronnie, were there like regions where the Muffs were particularly popular? Like certain
yes,
regions?
Jeff, big cities. We're a metropolitan band. That probably goes for anybody, right? You know, you're going to draw more people in Chicago than you are in Peoria or whatever. We learned early on that our band and the kind of act that we did, that playing, I don't want to put down Peoria or any small town, but playing smaller towns with like 50 people there was not good for our mental health, or, you know, so we started telling our booking agent to, you know, we don't want to do Florida. We don't want to do, you know, Little Rock, Arkansas. It was not good for our mental health. It just, you know, so yeah, major cities, again, and then like, you know, there's certain countries, but you know, but they're the rock and roll countries you always hear about: Spain, Italy, South America, Japan.
Love that live music. Yeah.
They like rock and roll. They know about it. They're fans. You know, early on in the 90s, I mean, we did good in England too, but you know, I know it's not that way for a lot of bands anymore. But yeah, no, we had some amazing shows in London and stuff. And in fact, we played London quite a few times, because we do it a couple of times, like beginning and end of these European tours. I remember we were so excited because we were booked in Leeds and Manchester. We're like, oh, great, we know these towns. And then, you know, we're headed to Leeds. Me and, you know, we're like, live at Leeds. Yes, this is going to be great. We're booked at a place called the Duchess of York. That sounds classy. You know, this is going to be a great gig Saturday night. So we get to the Duchess of York, and it's a pub, and there's 50 people there, max. And it was not the best show. And afterwards, that time we were touring in this kind of Winnebago type vehicle that our crew was driving. That blows me away too. Like, Americans let loose in a Winnebago in Europe, pre cell phone, right? This is like written directions and maps. And there were a couple of hairy instances, I will say, but we're sitting there waiting to leave. And I remember the pubs let out, just like you hear about the pubs close at 11. You see all these people come out. This guy comes up, this geezer, I'll call him, comes up to the window, says to our roadie, like, you know, you got a cigarette? Maybe he used the word fag. Right. Means cigarette. All right, people. And then he's like, no, I don't. And he's like, and then the guy's like, oh, what's that accent? Where you from? And then he's like, oh, I'm from America. He's like, America, I fucking hate Americans. Would you like it if I put my fist through your fucking face? Oh, and like, man. The roadie's like, no. And it's like, I'm fucking freaking out and scared. And what happened was, like, the guy turned and saw some other guy, and they went and kicked some guy's ass on the street.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So,
that's
you
great.
know, yeah. So anyway, to get back to your answer, Jeff. Yeah, I mean, big cities. We did great in the big cities, and you know, we just weren't. You hear about like punky bands that like play kids' basements and whatever. We were never even from the beginning. We were never asleep in people's house floors, type of band, or play the opening of a garage. We were not
parties.
Yeah. We were not. We were not that band, you know, and God bless the bands that do, you know, but, you know, that say like, we played this basement and it was great. And there were 100 kids, and, you know, I'm sure it was, but like, you know, Yeah, we didn't fall into that, and maybe that's also a symptom of us ascending so quickly. We didn't do nationwide. When we started doing nationwide tours, that's when were signed to Warner Brothers and had a booking agent, and you know, we weren't on the phone ourselves, like putting together a tour across Montana to get to Colorado to get to, you know, so. And that said, like, you know, when we were, the booking agent thing reminds me of a great story that I never tell, is that we were getting wooed by people. And we met Ian Copeland, who, one of the Copeland brothers, who had the booking agency FBI. Mm-hmm. You know, Miles had IRS records, you know, everybody. Right. So we met Ian Copeland and went to his house. He was amazing. He jumped in the pool with his clothes on. He had a drum set of Stewarts and wow. We didn't end up going with him, but it just amazes me that I've got good stories about that. Like when we signed to Warner Brothers, there was Madonna had just started Maverick Records with her manager Freddie DeMann. Freddie went on to manage Michael Jackson and stuff. But anyway, they didn't know what to do. We didn't know if we were going to be on Warner Brothers or Reprise or wherever. But the idea was to push us to Maverick. So Madonna had our demo tape. She was filming that film up in like Oregon, Body of Evidence or whatever it was at the time. Yeah, Madonna had our demo tape. Freddie DeMann came to our practice space, which was Dave Nasworthy from Chemical Peoples, behind his house in Beverly Hills. He came and watched us practice, this big hotshot manager. And cool. We didn't end up on Maverick, but just these are all, this is why I'm writing a book. Like we have like so many stories like this, like these just cool brushes with like industry and you know, yeah.
La 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 la. Sounds good up here already.
Yo. Hello. John Adler. Let's talk about John Adler for a second. Let's talk about Alan Ladd. I think there's not enough talk about Alan Ladd these days. People don't even know who he is. Hello?